Tonight on Grady News Source, an asteroid will be flying over our heads soon. And yes, I said an asteroid.
And next, a nightmare comes to life, the story of the Craigslist killer and how many victims she claimed.
How did the snowpocalypse affect sports? We'll let you know when we get back. Makeup
from the University of Georgia, a student production of the Grady College of Journalism. This is Grady News Source.
I'll tell you how some local schools are still affected by last week.
Makeup days and a nasty stomach bug hitting UGA's campus. We have the latest. I'm Krissy Robinson.
And I'm Shannon O'Keefe with Grady News Source.
Parents of a local elementary school students are wondering whether their kids will have time to make up missed school after last week's snowstorm. Reporter Megan Melisarte has more information to clear up the confusion.
The snow days are over, but this could mean the amount of school days are longer. Kim Calloway and William Calloway are the grandparents of William Calloway Jr., who attends Cleveland Road Elementary. I asked them if the school has contacted them about makeup days.
No, they haven't. I've asked my son, but he said he hasn't received any emails or anything yet either.
There have been several ideas circulating about how schools will deal with the lost school days. UGA has confirmed 2 Saturdays in March that professors can use as class days. I asked William Jr. how he felt if elementary schools did the same.
How would you feel if you end up having school on a Saturday?
Wrong. Yes.
What would you normally do on a Saturday?
Sometimes go to the pool.
A decision will be made on February 20th, and based on that information, our superintendent will figure out what to do regarding the makeup days.
Some of the schools within the Clark County District that are still awaiting a decision on the makeup days include Chase Street Elementary, Alps Road, David C. Barrow Elementary, and Cleveland Road, which is where our little guy William attends school.
This week will determine whether or not William, along with several other kids, will have to sit in school instead of playing outside on their Saturday. I'm Megan Melisarte with Grady News Source.
UGA students are returning to school this week, but a stomach bug is making some miss even more school as the illness makes its way around UGA. Reporter Tevin tells us how to remain healthy on a campus where germs can spread rapidly.
This is not the view you want on a Monday morning, but it's what a lot of University of Georgia students have had to look at the past couple of days. Just ask Brian Kennedy.
Spent a lot of time in the bathroom, that's for sure. It definitely sucked to be that sick for that long, just not being able to get out and do stuff.
But is it a stomach bug or food poisoning from the dining halls?
I did have a couple cases where students reported to me that they thought they had food poisoning. I'm not saying germs can't get passed between people in dining facilities, but it was not food related.
However, the dining halls are mandating that students use hand sanitizer after scanning their hands.
The stomach bug is never fun, but Liz Rachin of the University Health Center says this kind of virus is typical for this time of year, but there are steps you can take to stay healthy, like washing your hands.
She says the main things to remember are to wash your hands and stay hydrated if you are sick. And if you are sick,
Pepto-Bismol, if you do get it. And
the Athens community is taking great strides to help older residents re-enter the workforce. The Senior Community Services Employment Program, a branch of the Athens Community Council on Aging, offers a skills-based training program that allows participants to learn by doing. The employment program works with the unemployed, low-income, older adults and trains them in nonprofit agencies to learn new skills. Veterans and people with multiple barriers to employment are given priority for enrollment. The program currently serves several counties, including Barrow and Clark counties.
A bill that would allow alcohol sales in bars on Sunday holidays is still in the works in the Georgia Senate. If denied, it could cause trouble for holidays like St. Patrick's Day, which is known for its heavy drinking celebrations. The bill would allow local governments to decide if they want to permit the sale of alcohol in not only restaurants, but also bars on Sundays. The bill was voted down originally, but is now being revisited in the Rules Committee. Georgia State Senator Bill Cowsert from Athens says he is against the bill.
Coming up, learn about the new Texas abortion law and how it's affecting Texas's clinics. Later, find out how the snowstorm affected local sports. Yeah. We skipped
Going out
8:15.
like that?
Yeah, why?
Well, what would the neighbors think?
I see
Is this still you?
Come look at Mr. Feather.
Look what I have. Mr. Bird, remember?
We're just playing. We're just
weird.
playing. I'm trying to get you
Okay.
out of here.
That wasn't
I mean, it
us,
was
right?
an awkward
Even still.
pause.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Houston doctor has been suspended under the state's new abortion law. Physician Theodore Herring performed almost 300 abortions between November and February without admitting patients to an authorized hospital. The new law, which went into effect last year, says that abortion providers must maintain admitting privileges at local hospitals in case of injury during the procedure. The suspension of Herring's license was effective immediately. Supporters of the law say it is necessary to protect the health of a woman in case of complications. The law also requires clinics to meet building standards and ban abortions after 20 weeks. These new guidelines have led to the closure of nearly 1/3 of Texas abortion clinics.
A 19-year-old has been charged for the murder of a man she met through Craigslist. Miranda Berber says she wants to plead guilty to killing Troy LaFera with her husband in November. The couple met LaFera after he responded to a Craigslist ad offering companionship for money. Barbara's husband allegedly told investigators that they committed the crime because they wanted to kill someone together. Barbara claims she joined a satanic cult in Alaska when she was 13 and has killed at least 22 other people from Alaska to North Carolina in the last 6 years. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against both Barbers.
President Obama says drought-stricken California is an example of what can be in store for the rest of the country. Human-caused climate change is increasing. There is no scientific evidence, however, that global warming is linked to California's problems. The most recent projections suggest that as the world gets warmer, California should get wetter, not drier. This leads experts to believe global warming plays a little role in the drought since 2013 was the driest year the Golden State has seen.
The marijuana industry has high expectations with the news the Obama administration released on Friday. It allows banks to work with state-licensed marijuana companies so they do not fear prosecution. The Bureau of U.S. Treasury does not promise total immunity for banks, but if they meet certain conditions, then they should be in the clear.
$400 million is on the line Wednesday for the next Powerball drawing. The drawing marks the 6th largest winnings in the U.S. lottery history. The award went up $70 million over the weekend after no ticket matched all 6 numbers from Saturday's drawing. The odds of matching all the numbers are 1 in about 175 million.
Tonight, 3 U.S. diplomats have been ordered to leave Venezuela. The order comes after claims that they recruited college students to lead demonstrations that left 3 dead. Venezuela's Foreign Minister of Affairs said the diplomats used their visas to visit the universities as a cover to promote opposition protests. The demonstrators are said to be the nation's most serious violence since President Nicolas Maduro's election in April. The foreign minister has given the diplomats 48 hours to leave the country. U.S. embassy officials were not available for comment.
United Nations will call for an international criminal investigation in North Korea after a UN report was released earlier today. The report shows the results from a year-long investigation in the country. Almost 120,000 people are estimated to be held in prison camps. There is evidence of torture and first-hand testimonies of crimes against humanity. A North Korean diplomat denies the allegations and says the evidence is exaggerated.
The stocks were looking good today. The Dow was up over 126 points, pushing gold prices to new highs for the year. The S&P closed up over 8 points, and the Nasdaq also closed up a little over 3 points.
Up next, we'll tell you how last week's snowpocalypse affected our local sports.
Coming up later, we'll fill you in on the asteroid headed towards Earth.
I know it is
When some
hard to
people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
So, Tevin, tell us how bad Snowpocalypse 2 was on sports.
Well, Krissy, Mr. Snow did do his damage, but things are back on track. The Georgia High School State Association Wrestling Championship will begin this weekend. They will be held at 6 different high schools for each classification after being postponed last week due to the snowstorm. The tournament was originally scheduled for the Gwinnett Arena, which is now not available due to prior commitments. The snow couldn't hold down the region basketball tournaments as they began late last week. After pushing back the regional tournaments, local teams have started their quest towards a state tournament berth. Gainesville High School, Clark Central, and Cedar Shoals all have their boys and girls teams playing today at Loganville High School and at Pulaski High School in order to punch their ticket into the state tournament. The Diamond Dogs and new head coach Scott Strickland had a rough start to their 2014 campaign as they kicked off against Georgia Southern this Valentine's weekend. Love was not in the Dogs' favor as they lost their opening doubleheader 9-3 on Saturday at Folly Field. The offense picked up in Game 2 as the Dogs won 11-3. Sunday's game went to the Eagles as they cruised to an 18-4 victory. Their next game will be Tuesday at Folly Field against Kennesaw State at 5 p.m. It was a rough weekend on the diamond, but a great showing on the greens for the former Dogs. Bulldog Bubba Watson won on Sunday at the Northern Trust Open Tournament. This is the first win since the 2012 Masters. Watson jumped into the top 5 in the FedEx Cup points standings, joining former UGA standouts Chris Kirk and Harris English. And speaking of points, they may decrease for the fast-paced offenses this upcoming college football season. The NCAA Football Rules Committee has proposed a rule that will not allow offenses to snap the ball before 10 seconds has run off the play clock. The offense will be assessed a 5-yard delay of game penalty if they snap the ball early. The rule is said to enhance safety and allow teams to substitute players, which is a forte offenses have previously taken advantage of with the no-huddle offense. They hope this will get defense players off the field in time to avoid injuries. Coach Rick has yet to show displeasure to the new proposed rule changes, but has made a change of his own by adding his son to the UGA football coaching staff for 2014. John Rick will serve as a volunteer quality control assistant for the Bulldogs and work primarily with the offense. He was a former quarterback at Prince Avenue and Mars Hill University. Rick has experience as a quarterback coach at QB Country Training Facility in Nashville.
Up next, find out how Facebook is expanding their gender options and the possibility of an asteroid headed your way tonight.
Time to wake up. I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Don't forget, you've got a job to do today.
Hey, Mom. I got the job. Thanks.
I've got the job. Welcome aboard.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
I know, 2 seconds. Hang on, just stand still. Stand still, love. 1 second. I know. Just hold on. Okay, go, go, go.
Boys, hang on, boys!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
There's like breaking news.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Girl Scout cookie season is here, but this year's prices may be a little different. Reporter Alexis Knowles has the story about how local scouts may be earning more than just money.
They're back in business, the cookie business, that is. For troop leader Jennifer Duncan, her house is a cookie warehouse for the next month.
Before we went to our booth sale yesterday, I had almost 600 boxes of cookies in here.
Cookie selling doesn't just mean empty boxes. It's a time for the girls to learn about business. This year, prices for cookies are higher, but Duncan says no one has noticed.
I never had one person blink twice that we were charging $4. In fact, we had multiple people say, they're only $4?
Duncan says the troop can earn badges based on sales. Last year, hers earned the Cookie CEO badge. But to make a profit, you need good salespeople. For that, the girls have a very simple sales pitch.
Hi, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
Really, at the beginning, sometimes they would just say, Girl Scout cookies. And then we'd move to, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
They also understand the different business roles.
There will be someone like working the cash box, and there will be other people like advertising the cookies.
Duncan says with booth sales going so well, answering the door to a Girl Scout may be a thing of the past. Even without door-to-door selling, booth selling helps the Scouts be more outgoing. Duncan says some girls blossom.
I've actually got some that are really quiet, but when they're selling, they have this personality that comes out.
On top of the business skills, Duncan says the troop is earning more than people think.
I heard Girl Scouts only get 25 cents a box. And I'm like, did you correct her? Because we are way above that.
Facebook is finally letting people bring more of their identity to the table. The social networking site announced that their 159 million US users now have dozens of options for completing the gender question on their profiles. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender right groups have been working with the popular site to expand beyond the male and female choices. Users can now pick from about 50 terms, which include transsexual and intersexual.
Google is testing out a new technology that could allow you to log into your account with sound and could make signing in a lot more secure. First, you would sign in with your username and password. Then the computer would send a high-frequency sound to your smartphone. Then it verifies the user's identity and sends a signal back to the computer. New ways to prevent hacking is seen as a necessity after security breaches from major companies like Target in recent months.
Keep your eyes open tonight for an asteroid the size of 3 football fields to fly by. The EM-26 asteroid does not actually pose a threat to hit, but the SLU space camera will be keeping a close eye on it.
Scientists estimate that the asteroid is about 885 feet in diameter and moves at a speed of about 27,000 miles per hour. You can watch the asteroid live online at space.com, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Well, Krissy, I think I know where I'll be tonight.
Where?
I'll be watching this asteroid. I've never seen one before.
Oh, of course. Well, that's all we have. I'm Krissy Robinson.
And I'm Shannon O'Keefe. Thanks for watching.